Welcome to Titans, PIO, preseason, in-season, off-season. What is happening this season? If you cannot tell, I do not sound great. I've been fighting allergies, but you know what? I'm not going to let that stop me. This is probably the best I've felt in the past few days. So I'm going to do this video and also the video talking about Texans. But right now, I want to focus on the game between the Titans and the Colts. If you're a Colts fan, congratulations. You have a team this year. I was really down on them. I didn't think they were going to be great, but they came out and they really showed they deserved that 3-0. So yeah, the Colts, congratulations. Now focusing on the Titans. The issue comes up is, why does the Titans keep losing the way they do? Once again, bad penalties and bad play calling end up giving the game away. And look, I'm not going to sit here and rehash the whole game. You've had all week to hear people complain. The two things that did stand out to me the most was the first one, receiving the ball after winning the coin toss. My legit reaction was, why? This is so stupid. Why? We are never going to win anything. Why would you do this? I mean, why? I was literally screaming at the TV, and the game hadn't even started. So that right there should tell you everything we need to know about our coaching and our situation as a Titans fan. And of course, the terrible end of the half, we kicked two very long field goals, even though I do think there's a time and place to do things like that, especially with our kicker, who is really good. That was not the time. That should not have happened. That should have been last second, 3 seconds remaining to do it. Not going for it when it's 4th and 1, when we should have ran. They call a timeout. We call a timeout. Then we get a delay of game because, well, you know, the ball boy didn't have it right, apparently, or something like that. Something I never heard of before. It is ridiculous to me, and we should have punted it then. But instead, no, we said, here, Colts, try to go down and score, giving the Colts enough time to go into halftime with some extra points just to get the ball back. Because remember, we said, yeah, you guys can have the ball after halftime. Why not? Now, look, this game was bad, and there's other things I could sit here forever telling about penalties and other decisions that I seen. But I do want to be positive about a few things. First off, Cam Ward didn't have the best game, but it was still a pretty decent game. Yes, he had an interception. Granted, I do think that was more on Pollard than him, but, you know, and Cam does hold on to the ball a little bit too much at times. And you can see the rookie in him still trying to figure some things out. But I don't think it was a bad game, just not his best game. Some improvements can be made. That's not saying we need a new quarterback. I'm just saying some improvements. That's fine. He's a rookie. It's expected. Of course, our young guys, Chimere DK, once again had a touchdown that was taken away. This time because I don't think he actually had the touchdown. I'm not really going to fight that one. But it is funny. There are 2 games where he should have had a touchdown. The first one was taken back because of a stupid penalty that was not even there, if you ask me. And then this one, yes, he didn't make it, but I don't know why Callahan didn't let him run it in. To let him get the first rushing touchdown of the season, they should have gave it to Chimere DK. But instead, we gave it to Pollard, which I felt, you know, was kind of cheating DK a little bit. But anyways, DK theoretically should have 2 touchdowns already, meaning he is a great pick. And I told you guys he was going to be good. And see, well, he is. Alec Almander did good. Gunnar Helm. So once again, our young guys are doing good. And Lockett had a good game. Not much, but he had a good little game. Speaking of veterans, though, Calvin Ridley, I don't know what's wrong with him. He just doesn't seem to be connecting with Cam Ward, which is the opposite of what we heard out of training camp, which once again makes me believe, never believe anything out of training camp. Because every time we hear, in training camp this, and training camp that, it's always the opposite. So from now on, training camp should just be fingers in the ears, la la la, not listening. Before I move on to the defense, the O-line actually did pretty good. I mean, it's not fantastic. It's not great. It's not going to cut it. But it did pretty good for this game. Now, moving to the defense sadly did fall apart a little bit. But a lot of blame is being thrown on Simmons. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think it's fair. Look, he don't have Sweat. He's getting double-teamed half the time. Simmons got it pretty rough the whole game. They attacked Simmons pretty hard. I don't know if you were paying attention to that. Clearly seen this one play where Simmons had a face mask on him, about ripped the man's head off. And the ref was standing right there and did nothing. And Simmons even went up and was like, dude, I know that happens. You know, there's things that never get called in every game. But I think Simmons just got it a lot worse than we realize. And now it's time to talk about what this game has done for the season so far. Because there has been some consequences. The first one is Brian Callahan has gave up play calling. To our quarterback coach. Which just begs the question, why didn't we give it to our offensive coordinator? Anyway, so for some reason he gives it to the quarterback coach. Maybe he has a better connection with Cam Ward. I don't know. And he says, I'm done with play calling and I'm going to focus on what else I'm supposed to be doing, which has a lot of people saying, then why are you even here? Now, I think it's a little harsh. I think that's fair. You should give it up. You should give it up a long time ago. And he needs to focus on other aspects of coaching. So I'm going to be a little bit easier on him. I'm going to be like, okay, now let's see how you handle being just the coach and not the play caller. A lot of people, though, feel like that's a bad decision. They feel like we brought you in to be the play caller and the coach. Dual positions, but we'll see what happens. Honestly, there's some things that I do still worry about. First off, play calling has nothing to do with deciding when we get the ball or not after winning the coin toss. That has nothing to do with play calling. That's strictly just coaching. So things like that make me nervous. His ability to know what's a penalty and what's not a penalty and what's fair and what's not fair, those things make me nervous. When he didn't know that that was a catch, Alec Almander had that one game. That should have nothing to do with play calling. That makes me nervous. So there are still things I am nervous about, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for a little bit. We'll see how this goes. And then we got rid of Brantley Jr. because, of course we did. Because after we said we need to get rid of some players who are veterans, who are not playing good enough, we went and got rid of him because why not? We just drafted him last year. And I'm not going to sit here and speculate why we fired him. I just think it's just, once again, the Titans being bad at being, well, the Titans. And doing dumb things that we don't need to be doing. Anyways, guys, this is all my voice about really handle. Because, like I said, I am sick and I'm sorry about the way I sound. But it is what it is. I wanted to get something out there. I'm going to try to get a video out for the Texas game. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'm sorry if it sounds terrible, if my voice sounds terrible. But once again, thank you for watching. Check out some other content on this channel. And as always, tighten up.